So Corn's message for the council: improved monitoring, wish to show the true extent of West Northamptonshire's air pollution.
Thank you very much. Now for Mr. John Crick. Again, Mr. Crick, 3 minutes.
This is a bloody joke. To motion about air pollution. Also, I'm speaking on behalf of Living Streets.
West Northamptonshire Council is limited company.
I think we're all aware that Northampton has a serious problem with air
Agenda
pollution.
2030.
Exceeds legal and safe limits in many areas. We know that air pollution especially impacts the most vulnerable, causing lung damage in babies and young children.
It's all national, part of the Agenda 2030.
The biggest cause of air pollution in urban areas is motor traffic, with emissions
Pushing all the
just from
agenda.
exhaust, but also from tyres.
Grateful up the road. I saw
Yet
them
40%
outside at 6
of
o'clock.
urban journeys are less than 2 miles, according to the Department for Transport. Journeys that can easily be replaced by walking, cycling, or wheeling, i.e. active travel. So how do we get people to switch from driving to active travel for their short journeys? For example, to work, school, to the shops. The answer is to do what cities all over the world are doing. Create safe, convenient infrastructure so that active travel is simply
Okay, so
more
this
convenient
is
and more
all
pleasant
a
than
part of
driving.
Agenda 2030.
There's considerable government funding available to the councils that are doing this, and you can see the result in all of our neighbouring cities. Department for Transport says that active travel should be at the heart of our
Public
transport
funded.
policy, and for councils where it isn't, they will reduce
Okay.
overall highways funding. This was
This is
reiterated just this month in the latest Department for Transport guidance. But there's still time to act. We can get started
There's certain individuals I know
by implementing
about.
the Billing Road corridor cycle route from York Road to Park Avenue and Wellingborough Road, for which we received a government grant of £1.3 million. The council has held back because of worries about public opinion, but let's listen to what the majority want. Last year, the council itself commissioned an independent survey of a random sample of 500 Northampton residents. 60% of
They're
them
talking
agreed
eagerly.
with this statement. Cycling should be given more priority in towns, even if this makes things more difficult for car users. 60% of people in Northampton on an independent survey agree with that statement.
These are obviously cyclists.
Let's get the Billing Road corridor done. It doesn't even need to be less convenient for car users. There are plenty of alternatives to making Billing Road one way, if only we take time to look at it. Then we can bid for further funding to transform our town into a cleaner, greener, more attractive place, and to start to catch up with places like Leicester, Coventry, Nottingham, Oxford, London, Manchester, and all the others. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Crick. I now call Joan Roy, please.
Look how they've based her out. Oh, look, all the glitter on her. How much are they getting paid?
Now, three minutes, please.
Good evening, my name is Angela Roy. I'm here as member pioneer for the co-op. We provide and stock fair trade items, and fair trade is a key policy for us. I'd just like to mention that in 2006, Northampton became a fair trade town, mainly because of cross-party support, spearheaded by the then councillor Margaret Pritchard, still a resident in Northampton. So fair trade is a rich part of our heritage. Fast forward to 2022 and an intervening 6
You can't make this up.
sleepwalking into a climate change emergency. The wealthiest 10% are responsible for 50% of global emissions, while the lowest 50%
How they've
by
changed their
income
political
are responsible
agenda
for just 10%
all
of
these
global
years.
emissions.
Some people, that woman's been around for years. She's the director of
Fair
a
trade farmers are
company.
among the people who have contributed least to the climate crisis.
She's the director of a
Farmers are
company.
among people who, across Africa, Asia, Latin America, and Caribbean,
She's the director of a company.
the worst experiencing climate breakdown. They're less likely to earn a living income.
She is
due to
pushing
exploitative
this
global
smart
change and more
agenda.
likely to
Cannot
rely
believe
directly
it.
on the land they farm for their livelihoods. Fair trade standards ensure small producers take steps to adapt to climate change, reduce greenhouse gases and increase carbon sequestration, avoid deforestation and protect forests, tackle soil erosion and increase soil fertility, and reduce water shortage. West Northampton to move forward to becoming a fair trade authority would demonstrate the leadership that our communities need to promote fairness and entrepreneurial action. Not only does this mean putting fair trade in developing countries across the world, it also means supports the strong spirit of cooperation that West Northampton has in its amazing local businesses, such as the Daily Bread Co-op, which supports an extensive fair trade range. I'm aware that this does take up council resource. However, this is a resource for a particular need and a particular need to not only promote fairness in other parts of the world, but fairness in our communities too. So I'm asking councillors to please support the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
She's changed all these years.
Zachary Hilton, please. Now 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Zachary Pilkington and I'm here regarding the lack of youth service in the provision of our towns. My personal views is that there are no real areas where young people can go and actually have fun. There are several parks around, which is great, but my friends and I don't want to go there and do nothing but just kick a football or a rugby ball around. For example, one of the parks in my town has a ping pong. There's no access to bats or balls unless you buy or bring your own bat. Not everyone can afford to buy lots of different sport or game activities accessories, especially after the pandemic where lots of parents have lost their jobs or have reduced hours. If there was a central base where young people could go and borrow equipment, maybe by using a code from the school or youth association, I think more young people would use the parks. Some parks don't have a big area for the young people to use, or there is no play equipment around. Most of my friends don't use the swings or climbing frames that the play area seems to have. We would like somewhere to chill, chat and socialise. I go to a youth club which is once a week, which happens to be a safe place. In the evenings we have the chance to do all those things. But during the weekends and holidays, my friends and I would like to be able to enjoy the outside. Since the pandemic, we all appreciate our free time more, and I feel that not having more equipment available to use and keep us entertained is where the chance of boredom can hit, and you get groups of bored young people who can easily be swayed into bad habits, e.g. vaping and drugs. I actually found a fire in the woods surrounding one of our parks. It was a small fire, but if my sister and her friends didn't tell me, and I hadn't found it it could have easily spread towards a lot of damage. Luckily, my group of friends haven't gone down this route, but we still got bored of just kicking a ball around. We do have a coffee shop which has board games available to play, but you have to buy a coffee. We'd love to do this outside. It is easy to show how some groups fall into bad habits and cause trouble.
It's a shame that these people don't realise it's the demons behind all this. Not everyone here, obviously, but there's a lot of things I know about these people.
I now call Big White, please.
Oh look, they got the bling on. The mayor.
Now
They are Freemasons. Illuminati.
Hello, I'm Becky. I'm here on the motion for the youth provisions. So we believe that all young people in Northamptonshire
That's a limited
should
company
access
she
a
represents.
statutory protected, wide-ranging and universal youth service with ring-fence funding from central and local government that is
Begging
delivered
for
by
public
local authorities,
funds.
youth voluntary organisations and schools working in partnership.
Oh God.
There is an urgent need to invest in the youth workforce for more professionally qualified youth workers and trained volunteers to offer young people the benefit of information, advice, guidance.
Control the youth. Okay, so anyone doesn't know how finance and business works in economically, and how the bigger picture is, this area and what you're observing in that stream is public. Anyone can go and download the documents. There's one man I've known since the 90s. He's still in his position, but they've moved around. In England, this area is first for Agenda 2050. All of the policies throughout the world, NWO, New World Order, all the bigger pictures, all for major corporations. And these political people, their connections, I'm not saying everyone's involved in their fraternity, Masons, Freemasons, whatever, but there's a darker, serious agenda in this area for years and has not changed. And when I saw that guy today, and some of these people outside the building where they're having that meeting on the way home, I knew exactly it was pointing, and I just had a quick nose at the documents, what they're promoting. Control. Everything's control. And if you couldn't see the pollution, I saw people disregarding their cigarette end and almost setting fire to a bin passing me. I alerted the local shop, nail salon, and they got some water and put it out. But it's just around this area. You got the perpetrators screaming their head off right now. The unfortunately, people go into this and research this. The children are taking off parents, and rightly so if it's safe, if they need to. Okay, and they need to be safe. But you dig on the website and educateyourself.org, research the ritual child abuse. And I'm not saying every child goes through that, but look at the history and look at today. It's undercover. It's not it's going to be public like this, on a format like this. And you're not free to speak about certain things. I know too much. Well, not too much, but some things, and I keep quiet what I know. Why do you think I get targeted? Why do you think I get gaslighted? Why do it's constantly happening non-stop? All around where I live as well. Because I know what's been going on for so long. And others do, around the world. And what's happening to them? And I'm just observing this. I can't check any chat at the moment. 7:30. Let me play one woman's. She's got her own problems. So I'm going to come off the chat. I can easily come back to that, but she's also got her problems. I used to help her, and then she's been let down by people. I'm going to divert. I'll come back to that. I can watch that another time later, but this woman, she's a TR, but she don't know it. There she is.
appears to have touched them. If you would like to return to check on or collect these items, be present to assist you, then please feel free to come back to me with some suggestions of dates and times. Alternatively, if you provide me with an email address, I can try to email over some photographs of your items in the property. If you would like to call me back, my number here is 01233 502008. Thank you. This message from 0123.
She's in Bournemouth in England, and she's in a hotel for months.
Message has been saved.
She's got no place to live.
That was a voice message from John Bartlett on the 20th of April about my possessions in the room. And he's saying that they're safe. I don't know what's going.
Well, basically, she was offered 2 temporary places to live, and she's also getting gaslighted and targeted, so she voluntarily left. As she voluntarily left, she's not able to get a flat or even another place. They washed their duty of care of her. So she's using child grant over a period of time. She could have put down a deposit of a flat somewhere, perhaps in her area in UK, down south, and yet she lied with me a few months back, and I known her 2020 when I helped her. Yesterday, she unfortunately has been failed by somebody. She doesn't realise I reached out to try and give us information, links and things like that to warn her, but she's still with a particular individual male she calls a partner, and everyone she's reached out with, she feels that's let her down. I'm not surprised, because when you're in the gaslighting targeting program, you're constantly being blocked to goods and services lawfully in the lawful due process. And I'm just going to see what she says.
Other than that, but Darren and my partner, made a phone call to Councillor Robin Maxted a little while ago, and I've recorded it and documented it. Anyone who does, I'll put this warning out there because it's already been in the disclaimer for a long time now.
Right. That is her channel. Go watch it. And then let's go back to where I was. Shame, innit? People like that. Right. Agenda 2030. Let's check my channel. Yeah. I still have gaslighting going on. But this guy called Phil, oh my goodness me, I could not believe.
I still have gaslighting going on.
Educateyourself.org, look into Freemasonry. There's a lot of subjects out there. People are really getting information out in a way they can. But this is a bigger picture, not just one's location. You see, yeah, comprehension on legalese, the definition of words, and all these things I studied, and they're just completely ignored because there was a darker force at play. And this is where I get shadow banned. Right, let me go back to it's not that one. Where am I? Where was I? I was there. Go back. Let's go back again. Oh, they got their alleged drug dealing going on again. It never stops.
Is concerned, I would think that's a necessity always with all the.
Not only does this mean putting
In a wide range of areas.
Temperature rises, currently estimated to reach 3 degrees or higher. Thank you.
The air around Northampton. It was amazing through Abington Park.
It's the same
into the
people.
town centre.
He's still about. These people know each other. Political connections. They're still about. And they're getting older. Oh my gosh.
Centre along the River Ness.
It's like, are they related, are they? Just by the facial features.
In the 1950s, I grew up in London, walking to school through the pea super smocks, mainly from motor vehicles and power generation. And
They're pushing the agenda for smart cars, electric cars.
there's no safe level for them. All particulates cause harm. And it's about how we manage the risk.
Bless him, he's bored out of his. He's really bored, look at him.
Local background figure for Northampton is 10.41 micrograms per cubic metre, with it reaching 13.9
stages of the pandemic.
Right, this is. It's interesting to see a young individual on board. I don't know. Look at the body language in these people. I'm going to start this.
I worked as a key worker.
So he worked as a key worker. Why is he politically connected still?
On Cliftonville.
That's about just across the town.
So when I came in on the bus, very empty bus, into the town centre.
Look at her beady eyes. They seem to. Their facial features are quite similar. The eyes and the nose.
It was incredible how different the atmosphere was.
She's sticking out her tongue. She lizard. We'll go back on that one. But not her. Is she still about? Don't tell me that she's a mayor or mayoress. Oh gosh. How much are people paying for that? Right.
Occupant. We're not really very efficient at using our resources because
they weren't before. Northamptonshire County Council Limited Company 2018, 2019, well 2018 especially, and then by 2019 they folded as a limited company officially in July 2018. Public knowledge documents is on Companies House website of England.
we keep on coming into town centre just in cars designed for 5 people with just one person.
You're not a person. You're an individual man or woman. These people may not know about the difference between the birth certificate, trust bond account. Look at the straw man on educateyourself.org links and educate yourself.
So, as a regular bus user, I've noticed over the past few
He's a
years,
bus
even before
user.
the pandemic,
Good on him.
Let's obviously put the ban on.
Oh, look. They're so bored. Don't tell me it's that one I know.
Internal combustion engine cars, which is obviously welcome, but even that'll provide a challenge to residents across the area.
You're not a resident either. That's all business talk. Resident. I won't go into that subject right now.
In terms of getting ready for that and obviously replacing those vehicles. So we know even the challenges we have from moving to that is quite large. So like I said, the points are welcome.
Of course they are, because they all agree what they're going to do before they have a meeting.
But we won't accept it as a motion because we can't amend it. But I would like to say actually that we have been awarded a grant of £148,000, a shade over.
Are you going to waste
actually
it?
on page 38 of your pack here, which is great news. And that's obviously a joint bid from Regulatory Services.
Yes, I won it because in the 90s, a friend of mine, he and his businessman was going to set up electrical cars on a tram, a mini taxi service. And the transport political guy in the town years ago, they went to, turned it down. I saw the documents, I saw the plans and the prototypes where they were based all those years ago, and they took the business to Dubai, over broader Middle East. And now here we are, 2022, but the plans are 2030. Really? It's a bit beyond. When in 1998, they had the same, proposals by this individual who worked for a computer company, and they set up their own company to set up this new technology version for smart vehicles all those years ago. And I've still got photos of me and him together, and such a nice gentleman. And I lost contact with him, and all these people are now talking about this.
And highways, so we are working on that. We do take it seriously.
Road safety and combating the environment.
The vote is lost. Thank you very much. I'm now going to ask for a vote. You vote, it'll be a show of hands. A vote for, against, and abstention. Those in favour, please vote now. Those against? And any abstentions, please?
She was very stern, didn't she?
The vote is lost. We now come to item 7, Cabinet Members' Reports and record of decisions taken by the Cabinet. This item is limited now to 60 minutes. I understand that all reports have been circulated to members. Time limit. Cabinet members should try very hard, please, to limit themselves to 2 minutes to whatever they want to say. So I'm now going to ask Councillor Jonathan Nunn, please, to start the ball rolling.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Well, let's see if we can get through the full list of Cabinet members this evening. You'll notice I've mentioned sustainability. Actually, I'll come back.
Sustainability is the key word for Agenda 2030.
That in a second. Also, staff reorganisation. The communications team is probably one of the second after executive support to be reorganised into permanent slots, and we're looking to get that done, of course, for all staff very, very soon, and not a moment too soon. Update there on some of the transformation projects and how.
He's been around for years. He was the leader of the Borough Council, which is a limited company.
That's going through the department. Finally, mention the Thrive Awards. I think when we all started this new council, we worried most about culture. We wanted people to feel valued, appreciated, and engaged.
This is all just a public show.
I'm delighted to say that I think we're achieving that, and if you get the chance to, you either attended or you get the.
They closed down. They failed. They sold off at the public expense. It's all over national news, 2018, and then so many people have been failed, and now here we are. They're trying to push all these agendas out. Anyway, I'm not here to just go on to that and just check the time. I'm just going to mute and not screen share. So just it's a short one because I've got other things to do. I'm going to mute this.
So,
And so how do you think these people against their knowledge, since everything, I mean, most people are, if they're sleepers, they're not aware that they've been programmed this way. So what do you think was done to them and how?
well, part of it is just part of what they do. And so I'd like everybody to understand this is I honestly didn't even understand it for a very long time. Did you know, and this is the big kicker, and I'm going to save you years and years and years and years of therapy. They do the same programming to everyone. Yes, you may be called to do a different job according to what they want you for, but you still have the basic programming. The basic programming is going to start with an organized plan. I did not know this. I thought it was just here, there, miss, you have this program, you have that program, and everybody's different. It's not the truth. They are very organized and they have a plan, and it does start in the womb. And I honestly, the last time I was on here, I just told you that it was, the witchcraft and stuff. They do start it in the womb, but they are implanting. I don't know if people know about this, the Kabbalah tree. The Kabbalah tree represents Lucifer's kingdom, and it's based on Kabbalah and Jewish mysticism. I'm not going to go into that fully here, but basically the whole Lucifer's kingdom is based on the Kabbalah and having the tree of death. Every single soul that's ever been under my control, and I don't care what you've been in, what you've been used as, you have the basic foundational programming, and that is the Kabbalah tree. What they do is on the foundation, they add different pieces of the programming to you. Somebody might be a super soldier. Somebody might be like I was a messenger, sex slave, so that was my job. So other people have jobs that they're trained to do, but we all have the basic foundational programming, and that's because no matter where you go, how many handlers, how many scientists are going to work on you, they already know what you have a basic of. So this whole programming, why are they doing this, is because they need an army for the New World Order. They need an army for right now. And I'm going to tell you something, you guys. It's a little disturbing, but it is true. And I don't know if it was before that. I'm going to tell you what I personally know through several people. Between 2011 and 2019, people who were older, and they also
and the ward manager said yes,
they were in quite a bit of their healing already.
I was arrested.
I'm going to talk about three that I would like to share because it tells a lot. Three of them. They live in different places. One's not even in this country. In 2015, they were all brought back and reconditioned. That means.
Okay, so that is one subject. I'm going back to see this woman again. She is now ranting. Unfortunately, she is. This is for her safety. I'm sharing this. If I can find it. She needs help.
Number plates are not right. Stop. No, it's okay. This, I'm about to play a recording.
She's with a partner in the hotel.
No, I've already put the description in. No, I'll put the description in. Right. Why didn't you say it before? It's live. I've just started streaming. Well, don't talk then. Okay, right. This is just excuse me because I'm under a lot of stress. I'm just about to document and play the recording of the phone call to Councillor Robin Maxted earlier today. I've put in the description a message for Dan, and Dan, as I said, you know, you're not responsible for those individuals, they are, and I will be making a personal message for Tina. But as you know, I told you something very delicate. I told you that about what happened on Sunday the 21st of August, when me and my partner were assaulted by a security guard. There's so much that people don't know. This is just it. They skim over things. I've said many times, I've got so many horror stories. And it was a very strange thing that happened, because I observed, as I told you, Dan, I observed Darren's behaviour, and he was more calm than I've ever seen him. I told you that I'd been left with the hospital porter, who said to me, who did a Masonic hand gesture, this one, for kings. And he said, his words to me were, this has to go to the CEO. He rubs my shoulders. This was on Sunday, the 21st of August 2019. He said, Tesh, the senior nurse practitioner and SNP, was a coup in his own country, a king. He rubbed my shoulders. He said, go and sit down and have a cup of water. And he left me with a security guard. When my partner, Darren, later turned up, he was extremely calm. I was calm. I'd just been sitting down with the security guard. And I told you what happened. I told you how the security guard got in Darren's face. I put my arm up to shield Darren, and I got dragged along the ground into the sliding doors, and I had to have a doctor look at my nose because the door slammed into my face and it was bruised. Now, I know I've spoken to you for hours. I've got emotional issues. I've never asked anyone for help with my mental health. Never. I am in a constant state of, I've had an early midlife crisis, you could say, because of everything that's happened. 2 days later, I was arrested out of the psychiatric unit in hospital pyjamas. It was. I can't remember the day. I know that it was the 23rd of August.
I don't know why she's still got a
I know it was 2019. It was 2 days after this security guard assaulted me and Darren. This demented security guard was.
Unfortunately, MK Ultra, trauma-based mind control, affects people like her as well, where it's repeated. You can go on the channel and see she goes on and on and on. And she's repeating things from 2019 with 2022 now. How many years is that? So she's still got the same partner, so why could she moved in with him? Or why couldn't she used her X amount of thousands of pounds she's claimed these past months in a down deposit for a flat, and they moved in together. Simple. Instead of all this reaching old history.
Chasing my partner off the hospital grounds. I was arrested out of there in hospital pyjamas. Release you with nowhere to go. I said, yes, we can, and they did.
She went
on my back in a little room in A&E. Down at the hospital.
Don't know why she's covering this.
I ignored the trolls. You were looking at my comments in the live stream. It's not your fault, Dan. I feel really bad for you.
Dan is an individual that runs the YouTube channel, and he was trying to help her too. So that's where Dan.
You that people have actually done this They're making fun of both of us, actually. But you should have seen the offensive language and the bullying, and even your moderators.
There weren't no bullying, no offensive language in this individual's YouTube channel last night. I observed it, and that individual, was making comments. She just feels let down.
Because they've gone from hugs and kisses to attacking me when my partner and I are both frustrated. And I've got something to say about Scott Andrew Home, because the MP office, I've live streamed this conversation, so you have to understand that Tina is not making any sense. She's lied to me.
Oh dear. A lady that tried to help her in various issues was in that video channel thing last night. And what this woman does, she's got issues. Anyone tries to help her, she lashes out, and she's now doing it to an individual who runs a website in her area, UK. So such a shame.
Talked herself up with having 40 years experience. It was my partner that phoned Tina in the first place. Remember that? And he's just as annoyed as I am. He saw her emails. So for that Scott to say during your live chat, what's your partner doing? He's here right now with me. He's a shy person. He doesn't want to be seen. He's here with me right now, and you will hear the phone call that we made a little while ago. Put that in a personal message to Tina, because whatever has happened, something has changed to make Tina retract her services. Even if my partner was abusing me, even if he's gaslighting me, is it really helpful, Dan, for Scott then to start saying, why isn't your partner effing helping you?
That's the point.
Again, Dan, it's not your fault. Those individuals are responsible.
Why is her partner not helping her? Why she turned to everybody else? If you had a partner and they were legit, surely they would, it doesn't make sense. But there you go, it's not for me to say.
For themselves. And if there's one thing that I am, it's a survivor.
Get on you.
And I will call people out. And you said it was the wrong place to call Tina out. No, it wasn't, because she was in the chat. She used the F word. She was loose with her tongue. She had time to do that. She said to me she was retired. She had a lot of time on her hands. She said all the things I wanted to hear. It sounded too good to be true. We know how the phrase goes. If something's too good to be true, it usually is. So here we go. This was I'm just documenting this for my own personal use. Anyone who takes these, uses anything of mine because it's in. I've been assaulted, attacked.
Very bad recording.
I'll let her speak for a minute while I just get her. Okay, thank you.
Hello, Robin. Hello. Yes. I'm actually feeling very distressed right now. I'm talking to Darren in terms of. I'm sorry. I have to be blunt with my language. I've been I've been triggered into having suicidal feelings. Okay. It's not helped by. There was a woman who. I'm being failed by so many people. There's a woman who claimed she had 40 years of experience dealing with. She runs a website, Tina Chave, UK. What was it? UK Independent Advice. Yeah. And last night, there's someone who does a police abusing power.
Oh, should you not say that to political people in her area in UK? Because that's got nothing to do with them. Wow, that's such a shame.
Thing on YouTube, and I've documented everything that I've been going through. I've recorded. I've been to the MP office. I've recorded on YouTube. Said it was me, and he said I was not abusive. Now. She said that this Lucy was saying it's not going to help your case. She's safety. I've been self-funding for 6 months with severe disability pay.
So why is somebody funding a hotel, as I said before, with your trial grant, that payment? You could have put a down payment down on a flat or somewhere like that, and you got a place, you could furnish it with your funding instead of paying for the hotel for 6 months. Any logical individual would do that. But unfortunately, this individual, she doesn't think like that.
I should not have been put in this situation. That was on the 29th of April. I have been self-funding so many hotels with thousands of pounds of back severe disability pay. I've been recording on YouTube. I set up.
She turned down 2 temporary accommodations. I don't know why she left the other flat. The other place, she felt she's getting all this antisocial behaviour, whatever, and nobody was helping her then. And then she ended up in this situation you can see.
Up the YouTube account. This is why I now live stream within my right to record. Having no 24-hour CCTV, and it's stated that there was. 3rd of August 2019. Now, I don't have an iPhone. I now have a dictaphone that's full up, and I have a cheap phone and a laptop. That's all I have. But they didn't realise that I was recording them, and I'm glad I did, because
she could have brought herself a laptop and a smartphone, a cheap one, for the amount of trial ground she had as well. If she thought about it.
April 2019, I've been dragged into St Mary's in handcuffs, being dragged in handcuffs, making complaints. They didn't. April 2009, because all my things are in. My human and civil rights. This has gone to the highest level now. This is on the level of human and civil rights. Sorry, which was the this is the same address that I've been staying away from for my safety. This is Belmore Road. This is number 12 Belmore Road. I've been self-funding. I had a whole year of being attacked. I had been, during a welfare check on Beachy Head, I'd been beaten by the police.
This is it. It's a shame people like that and many others are going through that. Anyway, go back to my channel. Which I've been shadow banned. It's just bigger picture. Educateyourself.org, NK Ultra. I'm going to go back to Super Soldiers because all this is not just about individuals like her. There's other subjects related. So, I need to find that channel. I've got to stop sharing screen. Yes, I have. Good. I'm going to mute this for the minute. Now I'm going to cover the comets weather subject in skies in Scotland, UK. There's a lot going on in the world. That's meant to be a sunset. This timestamp is 8:38.
I'm self-running a hotel for 6 months for my safety. Yes, I've needed help with lots of things for a long time, for all these years that I've been failed. I mean, the mental health thing I've given up on. I've had 20s. I could show you a little I could show you a newspaper article of me when I lived at home in 2003, when I've had a 26-year battle with mental health services since school. I went into supported accommodation 17 years ago to get support. My mother died when I was with a cricket social worker landlord who basically said, things to me that you don't do much and you might want to check the only character your mother's cancer. The support worker, his brother, his attitude when I went up the beach, he had suicidal, was knowing that I don't drink, his attitude was, what the F were you doing up on beach head drunk? This is all through Samara's house. I went into my mental health has deteriorated more and since my mother died. I've had to deal with everything on my own. I've had attempted rape. I've had The domestic violence, I've had two sisters I can't cope with. It's spilled out into every area of my life in Eastbourne. For whatever reason, I've been blocked from visiting the hospice, the St Wilfrid's Hospice, where my mother died. My mother died in the old hospice, but the new hospice, I made gifts for the nurses who nursed my late mother, and I was bullied away by a care coordinator called Ella Williams, who she said, you went to see her. I've never even met this woman before. She gave me her card and she basically shooed me away, saying, you need to see her. I mean, my mental health deteriorated in a private rented flat where I had leaks that became a problem with Eastbourne Homes. That's how I ended up losing it down at the psychiatric unit in 2016. Because I was having problems in the private rented flat, problems with my mental health, in the community that they never wanted to help me. They've lied on record saying that they, I mean, how far does it have to get within the deep state establishment where during a welfare check after 6 years of police brutality, that during a welfare check, I'm beaten by the police, I'm section, and then trafficked by the section, I say trafficked, I'm being, very, loose with my words, but when I say trafficked, I'm just, just very loosely using the word, because you couldn't make this stuff up. I know Eastbourne is full of crazy people. I do the worst thinking. I cannot do this forever. I've had to start recording everything. At this stage, I'm literally licking my wounds because it's driven me to, it's enough to drive a person to insanity. I do not know what to do anymore. I'm waiting for a David Sharp to get back to me that never got back to me, a head of housing. In the meantime,
see, this is what I'm talking about with this spooky ass Adams family. Light bulb here. This is the light bulb. It's three. Let's see what. I parked back here specifically. To get away from the right. Specifically to get away from it. And everything. You see the shit that I'm talking about, man. That happens so
I'm getting to know. Let me tell you something. The review of this hotel, the hotel that I'm in is reputation because it used to be one of those hotels that was, that people talked up, and it's gone downhill since Britannia took over. And let me tell you something. I read one of the reviews back in December, I think it was, and it said homeless hotel. You should have went. The manager knows what's going on. Yes, because I was spent thousands of pounds with severe disability premium on these hotels, which legally I should not have been. Tina James said I should not have been placed in temporary accommodation.
That's off to the right is a 70-meter antenna. You can idea how big a 70-meter antenna is. It's sort of like a football field on a big hinge. It's that big.
Okay, welcome to the show. James right here. So that animation sequence was courtesy of Thomas Alvin. Check out his work. I've actually interviewed him twice. But today we're going to be going with talking to Laura Worley, and this is the second time she's been on this show. Thank you, Laura, for coming on here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, audience members in the chat, thank you also for participating today. So,
I'm a decent, law-abiding citizen. I have been treated the way these criminals should be treated, but they are police protected criminals. It is 12 Melville Road, yes, and I'm sorry, Robin, but my money's running out fast. I had a back pay. I've spent thousands of pounds in the last few years. Yes, I am struggling. The rates are going up now. It's going to be $355 a week. I shouldn't. Because I've been a loyal guest, so to speak. They've given me a room with a window. Because I tell you what, they have a room with a window that hardly opens. Because I'm not paying the full rate for this room, but I'm telling you, I'm climbing the walls of despair. I'm struggling so much, even in this room that's got space. I'm losing my head. I'm losing my head all over this. This has got to establishment level. It's like they want me to kill myself. The number of times I've been on, I stabbed myself through the arm with a 6-inch knife in the Strand Hotel. This is the hotel that Steve, Darren's friend on the favourite to I tried to make him the morning. A woman threatening to beat me up over the phone. I'm going to go down to the food bank with my lady witness, but right now I'm feeling so weak. I've been crying. I've been getting angry. I've been self-funding for 6 months. Well, this is just it. This is just it, Robin. The members of the council. I'll be honest with you. I saw the distress in your eyes. It's the same look I saw in David's eyes at the MP office. Do you know what he said to me, Juliet? He said, "We need this a lot. We need a lot of complaints about temporary accommodation." Because we engage in these are criminals. These are public order offences. The police are attacking. The stress is too much. It's too much. My money is running out of since they know that I've been doing this, they've stopped paying for me. And now I've got a reference. I'm waiting for the council to get back. I am not. Let's see what's doing. I'm paying for all of this. I'm paying for my family kids. I think this is what we need to hear this. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stay calm. I'm at the end of it. I'm at the end of it. I need to hear this because I went to my brother's been put in danger because of this. My council, my health, my safety, my life, the same employee, the same member of staff, the paying contractor. looking for support. I find it's very, very frightening. Because you didn't get down and I'm so excited to just feel myself. It's running out and my head cannot take this much longer. I just want you to know when I record my conversations, it's not to be underhand, it is to document. Because, as I said, I have recorded officials. I have this woman Lucy at the MP office. I made notes at what point she's lying. She sounds ridiculously unnerving. Listen to themselves anymore. She was saying, I'm not going to hang up on you, and she did do the thing she said she wouldn't do, which is use the phrase that I've heard so many times that even garage friends use, that the food bank, we're going round in circles and hanging up on me. It seems to be something they're trained in doing. After fobbing off and lying to me, saying, oh, well, this woman Claire is going to marry David Shaw. I've now recorded everything. I'm also going to put a voice message of John Mark and saying that my possessions are safe because I'm too scared. I'm actually too scared to step out into Yes. Thank you. I'm happy well today. I mean, it's been let me tell you something. The review that said that this is where there was a review saying homeless hotel and the management know what's going on. Let me tell you something. There was a woman in the foyer. I was sat with there were lots of people who have their issues every now and again, and they'll be in the foyer. And there was a girl. I was sat with a group of people. I was talking to the quiet man. There was a quiet man. Let's just say, without wanting to sound like a snob, a man who sounded quite well educated, and he was the one who told me to try Josh Rubberindi, and the fact that this Josh, who a month ago hasn't got back to me, even though he wants to take over from this calling Caroline Ansell. I mean, she's even advertised her services. She had got well in but she's failed me. It's very, very serious, dangerous circumstances. Now, this Josh Rubberindi, the man who told me in the foyer a few months ago to manage this group of people, he told me to contact Josh. We were sitting in a group of people, and some of them are not saying me. One of them, this girl, was just being stupid. It was like being on the road, which is why I had to pick people up. The reason why I sat on my feet is for myself. I want to keep away from people. I want to keep my going activities during the daytime. This girl started running Christmas decorations up the tree and throwing them at me. I'm saying, oh, don't touch it. Yes, I know that because that's not right. It's the lesson that I have been learning. I have shelter life in that area. But let me tell you the necessity that I reported to the legal ombudsman. Like they charged me, they once charged me £90 for half an hour a few years ago to say they wouldn't help me. But I was looking for someone to help me with the council. This solicitor wanted to get to me. We couldn't make this up. You could not make this up. She wanted to get me. She wanted me to plead guilty so that I could get the probation officer, me, innocent me, who's in a shelter life for one woman, who complains about smoking in our shelters and signing on payments and is scared in council accommodation. She wanted me to be the probation officer to help me with housing. If this is my teenage lady doesn't want to help me anymore, well, I hope she hears this woman, for whatever reason, has retracted helping me. I was so anxious about getting help from someone. I was too scared. I
in the meantime, it's very simple. It's so simple that it's unbelievable. It's always let me help. Okay, all right, thank you. Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You have to understand, I am being unbelievably. I had David, the caseworker, say to me, as a PCSO, said to me, I would be more angry than you. Yes, if this happened to me, I don't know how I'm finding the strength to survive all of this. It's I'm just very scared. I really just cannot take. I should have legally. I should not have been put in these. I've had all these crimes committed against me, my human and civil rights. Let me tell you that girl that was throwing baubles at me, and I went to complain about it. The receptionist didn't want to know, so me and this gentleman went upstairs. He's got this old man who had problems. We went into his room. I felt safe to go into his room. Let me tell you something. That girl got help from Dan Saxby. Dan Saxby has washed his hands of me. I've recorded Lorraine Blackwell hanging up, but she has not. Lorraine Blackwell didn't want to have it on PhD. I recorded this all on YouTube. All these people at the church failing my shoes with my voice. And I have to go. Watching
first time I phoned into Dan and the first time I heard Tina's voice, one of the things Tina said was, and I'm going to be brutally honest now, her words were, she jokingly said, I'm a lazy cat. Was that a joke, or did she literally mean that? Because I've told her some very personal information about myself. And I told Tina I did what I did because I've been failed and you found me, and I'm going to make a personal message to you. And in that private rented flat, what you don't realise is I had leaks that went through to the hair salon below me. And if it hadn't been for an ex-army Jehovah's Witness friend that I met late in the early hours, because I couldn't eat, I lost my mother, I couldn't function, supported accommodation and forced me to sign a homeless application form. That is why I emailed you a picture of my mother's death certificate with the dates. Now, I am aware that there is a woman who claims to be in a wheelchair, and I offered her the information of your website to, but I didn't give her your personal email address. I gave her your website address.
Right, I'm being abused. You don't fucking do that to me, you bitch. Excuse my bluntness. Right, now she's abusing me. You don't do this to me, you silly little woman. Yeah? Now she's attacking everybody. Oh my god. Somebody's posing to be in a wheelchair? Really? Okay, I'm changing the subject back to this woman in Bournemouth, which she is so pathetic. She's just now made comments reference to my disability.
I don't know who Dan is, but have a look. I know you have to go. And I've been failed, and you affirmed me, and I'm going
she's
to make a
abusing
personal
me,
message
so this
to
is
you.
her website channel.
And in that private rented flat, what you don't realise is I had leaks that went through to the hair salon below me.
She's got a boyfriend.
And if it hadn't have been for an ex-army Jehovah's Witness friend that I met
about me now.
late in the early hours, because I couldn't eat, I'd lost my mother, I couldn't function. Supported accommodation had forced me to sign a homeless application form. That is why I emailed you a picture of my mother's death certificate with the dates. Now, I am aware that there is a woman who claims to be in a wheelchair, that I offered her the information of your website to, but I didn't give her your personal email address.
It's on the website.
I gave her your website address. Then this woman turned bizarre, threatened me. So I'm trying to help other people.
No, she's not.
Where
Let's get this correct. As I said earlier in the stream, 2020 was the year when she was on Facebook looking for people's help. There's a woman on Facebook I know, which I don't even use Facebook since that year, and said, oh, contact this woman, she's looking for help. She's been using people all these years. Unfortunately, she's left her flat on a voluntary basis. And what she's moaning about, I don't know what's true and what's not. But she has gone seeking, it's just really unfortunately trashing this information. She really does need help. But by attacking personally individuals, whether it's public servants, you don't do that in a public format. You just be careful because they're liable on slander. And also, you don't do it at a personal level to people that had tried to help them. And if she feels let down, you don't broadcast it and make slander and for myself, direct hate and discrimination. What she just said there wasn't true. Now, she really has serious issues, And if she's got a boyfriend all these months, where was he all those months ago? Why leave it to 2 days before her money runs out, she says, for the hotel? And the point logically is, if you had 12 grand, any logical individual, in the way the world is now, wouldn't you have actually used some of that to actually literally find, even if it's a bed sit with some roof over your head, and you could put 2 months rent down, while you look to see if the public services out there could assist you in the housing benefit? Is she such a situation as she claims to be? Why don't you use some of that money then and get yourself a new phone or a laptop or something? And why didn't her partner, she said she's been here 4 years. If I had a partner, which I don't, I wouldn't be in the situation I am. She is on the sympathy role, and but also she's a target individual. So, but you don't see any of my videos will do anything that she's been doing, because you study law, you study your God-given rights, and even then you're not dealing with the flesh and blood. This is demonic times we're living in, and when these people are members of fraternities, Freemasonries, the Jesuits, whatever, they are loyal to their sworn an oath to be loyal to that membership. If they're public servants, they should not mix, their role in the Freemasonry. When I was married to a Mason years ago, there were certain things in business. It's all about business contacts then, but it's much darker and sinister now. Well, it has been for a long time, actually. But the part of the stream I was trying to share was super soldiers and the subject NK Ultra. This woman, unfortunately, it's all traits of being an NK Ultra individual. So whether that partner, who she says is shy, doesn't want to be on camera, it's his business, all you've got to go on with this individual is you don't see like a video of the places she claims she had to move away from for her safety. You don't see that visual evidence. If I've got, like today, they blocked the path with my wheelchair, so I do a short video, but I don't get people's faces on it. You just have to be so careful, especially online and out and about. The world has changed, and the way people record your data, CCTV cameras and everything. You just have to be damn careful. We're not living in the world that it used to be like anymore. Things are very, very, it's going to get rougher before it must even get better. But for this woman now to get her boyfriend to come on to a public servant in her area for funding for the hotel because the trial ground's run out, it's a bit double standard. And then she goes and attack about me.
Cam, and she lied under Dan's live stream.
Oh, I lied, do I? My gosh, I lied. She's brought me in. I'm not going to say there's just a YouTube channel that's a gentleman that goes in about police abusing powers. It's just a channel, and what he does is cover where public servants working in the whatever area you work in England, what is known, they're all limited companies. I couldn't even believe it when I found all this out. I got held all these years for a long time by public servants. I'm not saying everyone's in the same brush, but key individuals are very double standard, and have failed me miserably. So that individual just goes in and exposing how people are being mistreated. And it's not just England, it's all over the place. But anyway, that's who this guy called Dan is on his channel. It's his business. But why drag me into this?
If you go to my live stream on the
Okay, so can you quote the date she's saying? I go on anyone's channel. You do what you do, but you respect, especially on this format. Any social media, anything you're doing online is recorded. So, and monitored. You have to be careful what you do. I'm not stupid enough to go on and say something silly. And I will go on and I have no idea what she was on about. And goodness knows if I see this guy or anyone else's stream and that they got something interesting subject and he made a comment, then she just and when I recognised her 3 months or something ago on this channel where I helped her before, and now she's really disrespectful to all these other people that's been helping her since. I couldn't believe it. So I'd make a comment to say, and then she starts attacking me because I know the truth. And she's trying to cover her tracks. And she's trying to get sympathy. So all the people that used to, well, still do, I assume, goes on to this guy's channel and moderator and supporter of the channel. She was in there last night and she's just taking offence to everything. And then she's dragging me up into all this again.
8th of March, where it's titled Voice Message for John Bartlett, etc., etc. Go 1 hour and 10 minutes in, have a look at the live chat, and you will see this woman, Sprit, S-P-R-I-T, Faith End Times, and she has said, don't know who Dan is, but have a look at Dan's live phone-in on, I think it was Sunday the 6th of March, and she has commented, Spirit Faith End Times, S-P-R-I-T, she's misspelled it, right under Dan's video. She's saying this woman, the council helped her and she's no longer in Eastbourne. So I caught her out lying, and she also saved a video of me being appalled that a woman in a wheelchair could behave like this, and she's recorded Dan's police abusing powers thing. This is someone who claims to be a faceless person who claims to be in a wheelchair.
I am.
And just like this woman, I only had one conversation with her.
No, you haven't.
In the same way, I've only had one phone conversation with you, Tina, and I wish I'd recorded it so that I can play it live. And then people, including me and my partner, who didn't hear what you said when he passed the phone over to me, right, because you knew that I'm suffering from crippling anxiety. When I finally spoke to you, you told me, I will do all these things for you. I will help you with this, that, and the other. I've got 40 years experience talking yourself out. I said how wonderful you sounded. I said, oh, it's like a prayer's been answered. And you told me to ring you back the next day or whenever I felt able to, because you had the patience, you're retired, and you've got the time.
She made all my data
But
public without consent.
You've retracted this and you've sent me an email. Everything that you told me about during our conversation,
look,
you're like a completely different person in one email. And Princess Angela, you saying in Dan's live chat, live phone-in, that first time you phoned in, I'm a nosy cow, I thought you were being humorous. But I think you literally meant it, because I've given you personal information. Well, everything I'm saying on my YouTube channel is what I say in private to you and Dan anyway. But there's a lot that you don't know. But I did tell you one thing that I haven't disclosed to anyone else. And that was what I did at the psychiatric unit. One day when I'm ready, I will reveal it publicly. If you want to do that publicly.
Oh dear, she needs help. And she goes and attacks me. You need to go and look back at her videos. It's a shame.
You can. But the fact that you won't even take a phone call from me, much time to, you know, the thing is, Dan, if you've got to choose your friends carefully, because if you said to me, as you said to me, these videos are for my personal documentation. I've got a disclaimer out that he'd rung the House of Commons. He'd been basically abusive. She wouldn't give any content as to what was in that conversation. She just said abusive. But live phoning, she said, you have been emailing Tina Chave for months. No. And why would she say that? What does she know or not know? That's between me and Tina. Do you see where I'm going with this?
No.
I had one phone conversation with Tina. My partner rang her because of my anxiety. And I have nothing more to say. But, yeah. So this is what happens. Actively shown any kind of concern. And if you do anything detrimental, if you share anything, read my.
Well, I think she needs to stop abusing people in the first place. It doesn't matter on YouTube, it's public. She's made it public, right? Disclaimer, she's attacked me again publicly. Right, so let's get rid of that individual. Oh, let's just stop screen sharing and we need to get alive.
YouTube. Aaron and I will continue to pray.
Well. Now, let's have a look. It is sad for people like that. Queen of England's birthday today. Happy birthday to Queen of England, 96 years of age. Right, I've recorded that evidence, what she said about me. No, I'm just going to end the stream on that note.